Some killers stalk city streets. Others hide in plain sight. But David Parker Ray built a house of horrors right in the New Mexico desert. His name doesn't strike the same instant fear as Bundy or Gacy. But it should. Because what Ray did inside a soundproof trailer would soon earn him the nickname, the Toy Box Killer. Born November 6, 1939, David Parker Ray grew up in Belen, New Mexico, a quiet town with little to foreshadow the monster he would become. But early signs were there. As a teenager, he developed a fascination with bondage, sadism, and sexual torture. His fantasies weren't just violent. They were methodical, ritualistic, and deeply disturbing. And they never went away. Ray worked as a maintenance man for the local state park. To his neighbors in Elephant Butte, he was polite, quiet, maybe a little strange but nothing alarming. No one could have guessed what he kept just yards from his back door. A repurposed cargo trailer parked on his property. Soundproofed, reinforced, hidden in plain sight. Inside, it was a custom-built torture chamber, what Ray himself called the Toy Box. Inside this trailer were chains hanging from the ceiling, leg spreaders, clamps, whips, a gynecological table with restraints, surgical tools, a mirror mounted on the ceiling so his victims could see everything done to them. He even wired a homemade electrical shock generator to apply pain to specific parts of the body. This wasn't a spontaneous killer. This was a man who planned every second of his victim's agony. But he didn't act alone. Over the years, David Parker Ray had several accomplices, including his girlfriend, Cindy Hendy, and even his own daughter, Glenda Jean Ray. Together, they lured women with the promise of a ride, a date, or a job. Then came the drugs, often barbiturates of sodium pentothal, to sedate and disorient his victims. Ray claimed he could erase memories. In fact, he recorded audio tapes that he'd play when his captives woke up. His voice, calmly explaining what would happen, how they would be raped, tortured, and mind-controlled, and that no one would ever find them again. According to law enforcement, Ray abducted 4 to 5 women a year, each one held captive for 2 to 3 months at a time. He'd subject them to psychological and physical torment, sometimes inviting friends or even his dog to participate in the assaults. Then, when he was done, he'd drug them again and leave them by the side of the road. Confused, broken, terrified, with no memory of what had happened. How many victims were there? We still don't know. Ray once bragged about killing more than 60 women. His accomplice, Cindy Hendy, backed that claim. According to her, the bodies were buried near Elephant Butte Lake, or dumped in remote ravines. But even after his arrest in 1999, not a single body has ever been found. Ray kept detailed diaries of his crimes, but never documented where he disposed of the remains. It was a woman named Cynthia Vigil who finally escaped. In March 1999, after being held captive for days, Cynthia managed to grab the keys when Ray left the room. Naked, bloody, and in chains, she ran to a nearby mobile home and called the police. Her story shocked the nation. When investigators entered the trailer, they couldn't believe what they found. Torture devices, videotapes, surgical tools, and those haunting audio cassettes. Ray was arrested and charged, but justice moved slowly. In 2001, David Parker Ray was convicted of multiple counts of kidnapping and sexual torture. He was sentenced to 224 years in prison. But just 1 year later, before he could be fully interrogated about the murders, Ray died of a heart attack in prison. He took his secrets, and possibly the location of dozens of bodies, to the grave. In 2011, the FBI released over 400 items recovered from Ray's property. Pieces of jewelry, clothing, and belongings they believe may have been taken from his victims. They pleaded with the public, if you recognize anything, to come forward. But even today, many of those items remain unclaimed. Many names, still unknown. Many families, still without answers. David Parker Ray left behind a legacy of horror. A man who built a fortress of pain, and a system of control so complete that his victims often remembered nothing, or no one believed them when they did. He may not have become a household name like other killers, but make no mistake, he was one of the most sadistic predators in American history. And the truth of what happened in that trailer? We may never know it all.